Hi folks! This video is about the exclusive Cricut Maker Knife Blade. I'm going to cover important things you need to know, so keep watching. So before we get started with calibrating our maker and design space to use the knife blade, I thought it was important to show you how to actually change the blade when you need to. And you will need to more often than if you're cutting cardstock with a fine point blade, because you're going to be cutting things like basswood and leather and chipboard, things that will wear out your blade, and you'll want to be able to change it more often. So you probably even want to keep a replacement blade on hand. So when you get your blade, you have a safety cap on it. Keep that. It's really important. You'll want it to protect your blade when you're not using it. In the replacement kit, you have a blade, of course, and you have this cap, which is actually a tool. It's got rivets in it that allow you to grip the sleeve on the knife blade so that you can remove it. So you want to place it over the blade, nice and firm. Take a grip on the knife blade, use the gears as your gripping point, and turn. The sleeve is on nice and tight, so it's going to take some turning to remove it. But you need to remove that sleeve in order to change the blade. There we go. There. Keep the sleeve inside this white cap, and now you'll be able to just pour out the blade. You want to open your replacement. It'll have a foam cap over it that you remove. And I don't know if you can see in this video, but there is a ridge on the white end of the blade. You want to line that up. See if it's not in the right place, it won't actually go in. There. It's in. Then you want to take your white cap with your sleeve and turn it back on. Nice and secure, nice and tight. You don't want your blade to be wobbling while you're cutting. You can use this foam and this little container to safely discard your used blade. Don't throw away the white cap until you're completely finished. You don't want to throw away your sleeve by accident. And you want to keep your safety cap on at all times when your knife blade is not in your machine in use. So let's get set up and we'll calibrate and get ready to cut. So the first thing you want to do before you start cutting is calibrate your knife blade housing with your maker. This is something you'll only do once. You won't need to do it again if you change out your blade. Your housing will be already calibrated. I keep my safety cap under the lid so I don't misplace it, because it's really important that we have that safety cap. You're going to want to use a light grip mat and regular copy paper to do this. So we'll just get this set up. There we go, all set. And let's go back to design space. An important thing you want to know is that you always want to be using a dedicated window in Chrome. The knife blade is available for computer or laptop only at this time. It's not going to be available in your iOS app or your Android app. So you want to be on computer or laptop. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the top left hamburger menu and choose Calibrate. I'm going to choose Knife Blade. It tells me that I should load copy paper into my machine. It's already chosen the maker for me, and I'm going to load my mat. So the maker is going to cut 7 rows. It's going to cut each row from the right and from the left to join together. What you want to find is the straightest cut without snags. You don't want the lines to be offset higher or lower. They should join and make a straight cut right across. So let's take a look at what we have. I hope that you can see the cut lines in this video. I think the nicest cut is probably number 5, so that's what I'm going to choose to calibrate my knife blade. I'm going to choose number 5 as my best cut and press continue and close. And there we are, all ready to make our first cut with our knife blade. So as we're preparing to do our first cut, there's a few things you want to have on hand. You're going to need a strong grip mat, of course, and the material that you're going to cut. But you also want to have painter's tape or masking tape. Because the materials that you're cutting are stiffer, there's always the possibility that as they're passing back and forth in the machine, in the maker, they could lift from the mat even though you're using a strong grip mat. So it's a good idea if you use painter's tape along each side, all 4 sides. You can leave an inch open at each edge. You don't need to go corner to corner, but this will keep your mat secure. If ever you see your material lifting, just push your painter's tape back down or even add a piece if it's necessary. You're also going to want to have either a soft brush or some canned air. These thicker materials have the possibility to kick up particles, like almost like sawdust, because you're cutting with a knife blade. So it can happen with your mat board and your basswood and leather, anything like that. You don't want these materials to collect around the blade and clog the blade and have the machine stop cutting. So from time to time, you just want to check and brush away anything that you see that could become a problem. So that's all we need to get started. I'm going to get my pattern ready in Design Space and we'll make our cut. So I'm going to be cutting these shapes out of mat board. We'll press Make It. You want to be sure that your cut is at least 1/4 inch away from the edges. You don't want to accidentally have your blade go over your thick material and chip or break. So I think we have good spacing around the edges. We'll press Continue. I'm going to choose my maker. Select my material, which is mat board. There it is. I have my knife blade already installed in my machine, and we're going to go ahead and make our first cut. I've placed my mat board on my strong grip mat and secured it on all 4 sides with painter's tape. Something important that you always want to do is remember to move your white star roller all the way to the right-hand side. If you forget to do this, you risk indenting your material and losing your project. So we'll go ahead and press Insert mat. And go to cut. We're able to see on our design space screen that my cut is 10% done. But a really fun feature is after the first pass, you will see how many more passes the knife blade has to make and how many minutes it should take to finish the cut. This is really handy. We're on our second cut of 8 passes and there's 14 minutes remaining. While we're waiting for our cut to finish, here are some important things you need to know. Calibrating your knife blade housing is an absolute must-do. Knife blade projects are available for laptop and desktop only, and for best results you want to use a dedicated window in Chrome. No extra tabs open to slow down your cut. The smallest pieces in your design should be greater than 3/4 inch for both inside and outside cuts. The knife blade makes several light passes in order to complete a cut. It takes time. Be patient. You want to check your cut before you eject your mat. If needed, you can press go again for one more pass, and you can do this as many times as you need to. Should your machine stop cutting for some reason, do not eject your mat. You want to press go again to resume cutting. It's a very good idea to turn sleep off on your computer. Your knife blade will stop cutting if your computer goes to sleep. And our cut is finished. Let's go see the results. It looks like everything cut perfectly. We'll eject our mat and let's see what we have. Well, these are terrific. Great job. I'm really impressed with the knife blade. Even the small pieces that are 1 inch are cut perfectly. There we go. Beautiful. I love it. So I hope you found this video informative and helpful, and I hope you're going to enjoy your new knife blade. Thank you for watching.